So Neill, after we created a bit of content about my Bonts, which I like, you said you hated Bonts. And I used that in the thumbnail, and my contact at Bont, who'd kindly provided me with the shoes for free, said, well, how about we put Neill on some of our shoes, the ones that he hasn't tried, and see how he likes them?
Yes.
So Neill, have you sold out to Bont now?
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, absolutely sold out. Look, this is the new Vapour 23 model, which is a brand spanker, just come out. And
What do you mean there's grazes all over the side there? What have you done to it?
It's already been ripped up. Had a small off, mate. I don't know if we get a close up of that.
Yeah, there you go.
So you're always wearing your brand
Get
new
your face out of it.
Your brand new stuff, your best pair of whatever's when you crash. And I crashed on the side of these after about 3 weeks of using them and tore up the side of them. Still very functional.
It's called Murphy's Law, isn't it, that one?
It is. There's a lot of other names I could give it as well. So look, this is the Bont Vapour 23. And I must admit, because my main gripe, if you remember from what we were talking about before, is that for a lot of people, the Vapour S's, particularly the carbon bathtub, which comes up around the side, particularly around the forefoot area, is too harsh. And if they've got little lumps or bumps on their feet, it presses into those and really scrubs their foot and gives them blisters. They have fixed that problem with this shoe. Okay. This one is, I think, the best shoe they've ever made that I've ever seen. So the carbon bathtub does still come up around the heel. So I believe these are heat moldable, but they're not really recommended to be heat molded because you often don't really need to with this style of shoe, because the carbon bathtub finishes down real low in the forefoot. It doesn't come up around the side, and it's very, very, I guess you'd say there's no rise of the carbon on the outside.
But are traditional Bont lovers going to like that? So for me, who like their other shoe, how am I going to feel about that? But it's not going to be as stiff, is it?
Oh, good question. So this is the next thing. This thing is incredibly stiff. I'm blown away at how stiff it is. It's also extremely light. I think it was like 100 grams lighter or something on each shoe compared to my Lakes.
Wow.
Very, very light, very stiff. I can't get over the stiffness. So look, if you're on the fence about Bonts because you have heard that they are a bit harsh and unforgiving with the bathtub construction around the outside, this one is a lot more forgiving. So yeah, really, really good shoe. It is eerily similar in terms of appearance to the Lake CX238. Now, I don't have my Lake 238s here, but this is
you've got to get on the white shoes, I'm telling you.
This is...
I'm not digging all these black shoes in my office.
I was hoping that they would have sent some white ones, but I got black ones. And a massive thank you to Bont for this. But this is an old 237. Now, the 238 is much more... it looks a lot newer. Obviously, this one's nearly 10 years old, but very, very, very similar design. You can see it's got the dual boas, the tongue opens up similarly. This thing fits me like a glove, and this fits me like a glove that's a bit stiffer and lighter.
Okay.
Yeah, so the sizing's not exactly the same.
So do you prefer that though, or do you still prefer the Lakes?
I still prefer the Lakes.
Okay.
Yeah, still prefer the Lakes for long rides where performance doesn't necessarily worry me.
Yes.
But what I have started...
Which is more of the riding that you do these days, to be fair. If you were doing a crit race, which shoe would you take? Yeah.
By a country mile, the Bont. Yeah, it's much lighter, it's much stiffer, yeah, but not quite as forgiving. And the material, these being kangaroo leather and these being some sort of, I think, a synthetic something, not quite as forgiving, doesn't conform around the toe box quite as well as the Lake. And visually it looks a bit narrower in the toe box, and I've got quite a wide forefoot. But yeah, a much better all-round shoe. I think this will appeal to a lot more people who want like a really lightweight, stiff performance shoe, but they're nervous about the bathtub construction of the Vapour S's that's traditionally just been really, really unforgiving. These are very good. So yeah, big props to these guys for designing something that was a bit more kind of... what's the word? Better for the mass market.
Yeah,
I guess you'd say. This will suit a wider variety of people than the Vapour S.
Okay.
Yeah. And sorry about scratching your shoes up, guys. They were brand new when I did that. So, yeah, shoes don't heal, mate.
No.
Luckily, my hip is healing well.
Oh, good to hear.